President Trump tells the New York Times that he thinks special counsel Robert Mueller will be fair to him, but he says this of the investigation. The only thing that bothers me about timing, I think it's a very bad thing for the country because it makes the country look bad. It makes the country look very bad, and it puts the country in a very bad position. So the sooner it's worked out, the better. Joining us now to talk about this and more is Republican Congressman Rodney Davis of Illinois. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning, Alisyn.
Great to have you. So what does the president mean when he says that the Mueller investigation makes the country, the U.S., look bad?
Well, it's never good for any country to have an investigation, one, let alone three, going on against a perceived slight for the administration. So it is bad perception-wise, but I think we have to look at some of the successes of this administration and working with the Republican Congress over the last year or two, and also give credit where credit's due.
I hear you, and we will get to the tax bill. I do want to get to that with you. But first, just about this investigation. Look, the U.S. tries to get to the bottom of things that go wrong. I mean, that's what we do in this democracy. So it sounds like the president saying that an investigation makes the country look vulnerable somehow or look weak. And do you agree with that?
I don't think the president means that the country is going to look weak on the world stage. I just think it's a blemish, the fact that we've got one investigation, let alone three right now that are currently going on to address issues related to the last election. I think the president is clear in his distaste for the disarray that any investigation causes, and I think I think he's right to say that.
So what is the president doing to make sure that the meddling of Russia doesn't happen again?
Well, I think it's not just the president that is concerned about this. All of us are, Alisyn. And as a matter of fact, I think the president is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Let the investigations play out. Let the professionals at the Department of Justice with the special counsel, also let the professionals at the House and the Senate Intelligence Committees that are investigating this process too. Let's let the evidence play out and see where it goes.
But what about the deterrence for Russia to not do it again?
Well, there should always be deterrence, but let's also take a step back and look at the last election. Remember, our elections are not held at the federal level. Our elections are held at the level and overseen by county courthouses, just like the one here in Springfield, Illinois, where I'm at. I don't think anybody believes that Russia hacked into each individual voting machine in the precinct and had any effect on the outcome of the election. Frankly, I think the outcome of the election was sealed because many mistakes were made on behalf of the Clinton campaign, and successes and strategies were put forth by the Trump campaign that allowed them the victory.
And nobody says that the outcome, that nobody says the outcome was altered. The question is, since we know that Russia meddled, if you believe the intel community, so what is the president doing about it? Because it does feel as though the president is sometimes so upset about the investigation into his campaign that he's not taking any steps to deter this from happening again. What exactly is the president doing?
Well, I don't think the president should or could do anything because there's an investigation going on.
So you don't think that the president of the United States should do anything to deter Russian meddling?
Oh, the president and all of us should deter Russian meddling. But again, let's take a step back. And what was that meddling? Was it Facebook ads? I mean, are those what determined Hillary Clinton for being so basically, if I, as a candidate for Congress the next time, put out the same percentage of Facebook ads, is that going to make sure that I win my race overwhelmingly? No, come on. The American people were the ones that chose President Trump, and the investigations into this possible collusion that no evidence has been shown to exist, that's going to play out in these investigations that are free from party politics.
I understand, Congressman, but I think you and I are talking about two separate things. What I'm talking about is the intel agencies have put together these sweeping recommendations of what to do. There's something like a half a dozen specific operations that the CIA and other intel agencies have said can be done to try to deter Russia, who will try to do it again and are currently trying to do it again. And for some reason, the Trump administration hasn't acted on any of those. Why not?
Well, I don't know how to answer that question, but what I can tell you, Alisyn, is that it's also going to be up to some of these American companies, these tech companies, to ensure that they don't have a process and a platform that allows for any country, let alone our adversaries in Russia, to try and interfere with not just electoral processes in the future, but also financial processes and other issues that are very important to the American economy.
Okay, to taxes. I want to make sure that we get to this before our time runs out. The treasurer of Macon County, one of the ones that you represent, says that they've seen unprecedented levels of people showing up to pay their 2018 property taxes early because they're so afraid that they will be hit with a whopping bill next year. So what do you say to the folks in your district who say that this tax plan is actually going to hurt them next year?
Well, we don't believe that's the case. And if you look at my district right now, Macon County, Sangamon County, where I'm at right now, and Christian County, where I live, and others, 75% of my constituents don't itemize to begin with.
Right, but what about the 25% that do and are rushing to the treasurer's office?
Well, I think there's a little disarray and misunderstanding of what this tax bill is going to do, because when you look at the overall statistics in my district, Alisyn, less than 10% of my constituents actually have a tax bill that has a SALT deduction and a property tax bill of over $10,000. This isn't New York City, Alisyn. It's a much different area. So less than 1% of the 10% of the constituents I represent fall into that level. But we're also reducing the overall rates for them. When you look at this tax bill, it's going to be a benefit across the board. But the focus of this tax cut, the focus of the highest percentage of tax relief go to middle income and lower income families. And that's exactly what our goal was when we wrote this bill.
Okay, Congressman Rodney Davis, thank you very much for talking with us about all of these issues this morning. Happy New Year.
Thanks for having me, Alisyn.
Bill.
Alisyn, President Trump claims